What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 29 of Prop Quiz, where we pit two of your favorite people in combat sports against one another in a head-to-head trivia game. I'm your host, Long Island Luke from Main Card Minute. You guys can follow me on social media at Main Card Minute and subscribe right here on YouTube if you like the content. But enough about me. Let me introduce our contestants in this championship bout. First up, the confident Canadian. He's fresh off a loss in the tournament final like Josh Barnett, but his spirits remain high like Chris Barnett. He's hoping to have better luck bringing home the gold than his country has this Olympic season, and he will almost certainly spend his prize money on a new vinyl. You know him from Sportsnet. It is Aaron Bronsteter. What up, AB?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. You know, facing a guy as good as Jose is a tall order like Luke Barnett. So I'm just pleased to be able to sit in the chair.
There you go. Love it. Love it. Let's introduce your opponent. You just mentioned him, the winningest player in prop quiz history. He's made more on this show than a regional MMA fighter and is looking to add another $20 title defense to the mantle. He's not British like Mr. Bean, but he does rep a city nicknamed after Beans. You know him from MMA fighting. It is Jose Youngs. What up, Jose?
What's up, guys? I'm very excited to be here. I assumed I would have faced Aaron much further, like much longer ago in one of the tournaments, either in the finals or I assumed he was actually going to win the last final. As I said the last time I was on this, basically when Aaron and I hang out anyway, it's like prop quiz without filming it. We just kind of chat about our extensive knowledges of MMA. So I am not nervous. I'm very excited because if anyone's going to beat me, it is 100% going to be Aaron. And there's no shame in losing Aaron.
Let's go. I was saying off air, this is like the Ilya versus Islam. This is the best matchup we could possibly make. Guys, you've obviously both been here before, but for anyone new watching, here's a quick video on how to play. So you guys are going to go head-to-head in a betting-themed trivia game. Similar to Jeopardy, you're going to have a board with 5 different categories to choose from, with questions ranging in difficulty from 100 to 500 points. Your 100-point questions are going to be your over-unders. So these will be 50-50 questions. You just got to choose if it's over or under. Your 200-point questions will be your money lines. Think of it like who wins the fight. These will be either or questions. You'll also have a 50-50 chance of getting those. Your 300-point questions are going to be your methods of victory. Just like there's 3 ways to win a fight: knockout, submission, or decision. These will be questions that you have 3 choices to choose from. Your 400-point questions are going to be your singles. These will be straight up trivia questions. No multiple choices on those. And your 500-point questions are going to be your parlays. These will be 2 to 3 part questions, and you have to get all the answers correct to get any credit. So here's how it's going to work. You guys are going to be wagering 100 points on every question. So if you answer a question correctly, you'll earn that question's point total, and you'll get to go again. If you answer a question incorrectly, you're going to lose the 100 points you wagered, and you're going to lose your turn. You're also going to have 2 bonuses that can each be used once during the game. A 50% profit boost, which will increase your question's point total by 50%, and a no-sweat bet that'll give you the opportunity to go again if you get the next question wrong, and the 100 points will not be deducted. Please note, you must announce you're using a boost before you choose the question on the board. After the board is completed, there's going to be an optional Hail Mary round in which players can wager any amount of their points on one final question for a chance to double their point total. However, if the question's answered incorrectly, you're going to lose the points you wagered. So the leading player is going to have 2 choices. They can either choose the amount of points they want to wager before the losing player chooses theirs, or they can admit they have a gambling problem and opt to sit this round out. The trailing player is then going to choose the amount of points they wish to wager and have one final chance to win it all. The player with the most points at the end will win Prop Quiz and get the esteemed title of this week's Degenerate. I still haven't added it to the rules video yet, but we did add steals, guys. So 400-point questions are now eligible to be stolen. There's no like you have to use your steal. You could technically use it 5 times if you wanted, but it's only worth half the points, so it'll only be worth 200 points. And if you get it incorrect, you lose 100 and you give up board control back to the person. So you really only want to steal if you're like 100% certain you have the correct answer. Otherwise, probably better to just go back to the board and pick your next question.
Is the steal only like if I get the question wrong, does Aaron get the chance to steal, or does Aaron get to steal immediately before I even answer?
No, so you get the question wrong, then Aaron has the choice. Do you want to steal it or do you want to go back to the board? And you're really only going to steal it if you're confident, because it's probably not worth it otherwise.
Well, knowing Aaron, he's probably confident.
I mean, it goes for you too. You know, you could steal too. But guys, we do have a tail of the tape And it's a good tale of the tape. Probably our best one yet.
Man.
I mean, Jose, you come in undefeated 5-0. AB,
14, Aaron?
Not
Jesus.
not bad at all. 3-2. Jose, your average score, 5,560, is just absurd. You had the highest score all time your last time out, but I just mentioned Ben the Bane actually blew that out of the water a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
But AB, here we go. Correct percentage. You actually have a better correct percentage. And Jose just mentioned the longest streak, 14 in a row.
14?
Not only that, he also got 11 in a row in a different episode. So my man's two double-digit streaks. And shout out to AZ Ray Videos again for sponsoring this title bout. He is providing the $20 to the winner. Go check him out on YouTube. Gentlemen,
that's crazy, Aaron. 14 is nuts.
5 topics for today. Topic number 1 is, an ode to Jose, just roots for the worst baseball team of all time. But, the Boston Red Sox. This will be fighters with the last name Green or nickname with the word monster in it. Topic number 2 going to be Brawn of the Dead, not Dawn of the Dead, but this will be fighters coming off of like big knockout losses, coming back to win. Topic number 3, because this is Jose's second title defense, it's going to be title defenses, self-explanatory there. Topic number 4 going to be the Argonauts, which apparently is the Canadian football team in Toronto, Aaron. This is a deep category here. It's a Greek mythology thing, so it's going to be about Greek fighters, heroes, and fighters named Jason, because apparently Jason is like the head of the Argonauts. Yeah. There you go. See, Jose knows his shit.
Great movie.
And topic number 5, I actually really enjoyed making this topic. Regional rewind. So this is going to be fighters who are in the big leagues now who had fought each other on the regional promotions and stuff like that. That's a topic I might bring back for other episodes. It's a good recurring topic. Yeah. So,
Aaron, who's your favorite Argonaut player?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Mike Pinball Clemens.
That's not a real person, but let's go.
Let's go. That's my favorite player.
He was also the coach and president and GM of the Argonauts at various times.
I love everything about that.
Some Manny Pacquiao shit. All right, guys, let's play Prop Quiz. So you already know we did a vote to see who gets to go first. I wanted to keep this title fight under wraps because normally like the winner of the tournament faces the champion and stuff. But because we're doing this in the middle of the tournament, I didn't want to give it away. So we did do a blind vote. Jose, you were contestant A. Aaron, you were contestant B. 54% voted for contestant A. So Jose.
This is, Aaron, I don't know if you watched the last one, but this is the first time I've ever won a poll in anything.
I've still never won one. I don't think. I think I'm over.
Even on like BTL, Brian BC did his answer was no answer, and they still voted for him. So like that's how historic that moment was for me. Let's start with Green Monster for 500.
Green Monster for 500. Despite being a former champion himself, Kevin the Monster Randleman was only 1-5 in his pro MMA career against other UFC champions. Name 2 of the 6 champions that he fought.
2 of the 6, Kevin. So I'm going to say Rampage. UFC champions, not...
Correct.
So was it Randleman and Boss Ruin? I mean, Rampage and Boss Ruin?
Correct. Those are 2 of them. Maurice Smith, Boss Rutan, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Rampage, and Shogun Hua.
I do not remember that Shogun one.
Jose, you're still
let's do title defenses for 500.
Title defenses for 500. Matt Hughes had 7 total UFC title defenses. Who did his final 2 title defenses come against?
Wow. This one's tough. Aaron will probably get this one. Wasn't... This is like, I'm not a Matt Hughes guy, so this one is tough for me. I know he beat George, but I don't remember if that was... I don't think Matt Serra was. I'm going to say... And this is title defense. Okay, not title fights. Hoist wasn't a title fight. I know that. That was like one of those weird. Was it BJ? And so BJ Hoist. BJ Hoist, Joe Riggs. Frank Trigg.
Just pulling it
That
out
was-
of his
Wow.
ass and guessing
That was a
it
shot.
correctly.
That was literally the hoist
Frank
one
Trigg, I
threw me
knew.
off.
and you
And then I thought
literally
it might have been George because they beat George, and then George fought him
Oh,
again
wow.
like
Yeah.
somewhat soon thereafter. But
I just remember the hoist fight was a non-title fight before the BJ one because it was like one
Yeah.
of those weird catchweight things.
So it was Trigg, then he fights Joe Riggs, but Joe Riggs missed weight, so
Yeah,
it's
I
a
remember
non-title bout. Then he fights Hoist
UFC
at a
56.
175 catch weight, and then he fights BJ. So
Yeah, the
we
Frank
did all
Trigger one
that
was just
between the two GSP fights. Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was it was between GSP and Frank Trigg, and I'm like, I feel like he fought GSP way early. Let's do Brawn of the Dead 500.
Brawn of the Dead 500. Arguably the worst stretch of Jose Aldo's UFC career came when he was knocked out in 3 of his last 4 fights, but he rebounded with back-to-back knockout wins over who?
Back-to-back knockouts. So I'm literally just trying to think of who he lost to. Knockouts. Jeremy Stevens was definitely one of them. That was in Canada. That was the liver shot. And the other one was Moicano, right?
Correct. Jeremy Stevens and
about
Hanato Moicano.
That was in Brazil too, right? Because that was like a Brazil thing. I can't remember. I just the Jeremy Stevens one's the
I remember
one
Stevens.
I remember.
That was in
Yeah.
Calgary, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was that
On
really
Dana's
that,
birthday.
that
Yeah,
was a
Dana's
really
50th
sick
birthday.
card. Was that Eddie and Dustin? I think was the
Yeah,
main.
it was Eddie and
Yo-
Dustin. It was
Joanna and
Joanna
Tisha.
yeah,
Tisha, I think
Tisha.
that was a
Mhm.
sick card. That was a really sick card.
Wasn't
let's-
OAM on that card too? Olivier Aubin Mercier
Yeah,
fought
probably.
Trinaldo or some shit on that.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Let's do the Argonauts is gonna kill me. Let's do Argonauts 500.
Argonauts 500. Jason Jackson never
Oh
fought
my
in the
God.
UFC, but he has fought a former undisputed UFC champion and a former interim UFC champion. Name both of those opponents.
On the regionals. Was he Wow, this one is really difficult. Do you know this one, Aaron?
I'm trying to think, but I probably won't get
I'm
it.
literally just trying to, because I'm literally just trying to think of welterweight guys he could have fought in. The ass kicking machine. I'm going to say, this is UFC. Oh, okay, UFC champions. So not like Ray Cooper, like PFL stuff. I'm going to say, wow, this is hard. Interim. Definitely Colby. I know that because he talked mad greasy on Colby when I interviewed him once. So definitely Colby, Florida guy. Oh man. So that's the interim one. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, he fought him in Bellator. Benson.
Correct.
Wow.
Benson Henderson and Colby Covington.
The Colby one I knew for sure because I interviewed him and he was like, I want to get to the UFC and fight Colby and this and that. I want the rematch. Regional rewind for 500.
When the Canadian promotion TKO dissolved in
Oh my
2019,
God.
they had 2 double champs that went on to fight in the
This I
UFC. Name both of those double champs.
Ooh. They went on to fight in the UFC. 2019, so this is right before the pandemic. And are they in the UFC? I can't ask that. Man, this one is hard. Dana Canadians.
Also, just
I'm
a
angry I don't get
reminder,
this question.
reminder that I'm not saying you've been taking too long, Jose, but AB, you
Oh,
can
yes,
hit
yes,
him
yes,
with
you're
the
right,
shot
you're right.
clock if you want to.
So Marc Andre for sure won. Oh, Cyril was definitely a TKO champ, but I doubt he ever fought light heavyweight. Oh my God.
All right, hit the timer.
Bro, I have no fucking idea. I have. Jesse Ronson.
He fucking pulls it out at the end there.
Hold
Marc
up. I thought
Andre-
it was Charles Jourdain because Charles Jourdain was a double champion.
He might have been, but not at the time that it folded. Didn't he lose to TJ Laramie?
Yeah, no. I believe he was the featherweight champion, and I think he was the interim lightweight champion in TKO when he left to go fight Des Green in the UFC. So I probably would have gotten that wrong.
Hold on, let me look.
I fully believe Aaron, because I know
I might be wrong on that, but I don't know.
I know Charles
Bronson
Jourdain
probably is right too.
I know Charles Jourdain fought in TKO.
No,
and I know he was the champ.
Jourdain was the featherweight champ, and what, Aaron? That's it.
And then he beat Lapalus and became the interim lightweight champion, if I'm not mistaken. The older Lapalus, Damian Lapalus.
No, where's Lapalus on this? Hold on.
I believe Aaron.
I mean, if Jose is right, then he's right. I mean,
Okay, so this is at the time of them going to Funk. Cyril Gahn is the heavyweight champ. Mark Andre's light heavyweight and middleweight. Ronson is welterweight and lightweight.
Yeah.
Featherweight is Jourdain. It says bantamweight is Lapalus, and then it says flyweight is Malcolm Gordon. And then,
but when Jourdain beat Damian Lapalus, I believe that was for the interim lightweight championship. But he might have left for the UFC, and then that interim belt just gets dissolved. So
yeah,
right.
All right, either way. Oh.
I mean, I'm up. Jose got it right. If it's right, it's right. If I would have said it was Jourdain, then I can contest it. But he got it right, so it's all good.
It was between Jordan and Jesse Ronson, but I always thought he dropped down after the UFC, like his little spell, like when he dropped a whole bunch. I thought that was his bantamweight debut.
Because Jourdain debuted at lightweight in the UFC.
Yeah, I remember that. Man, Green Monster for 400.
Green Monster for 400. So this is steel eligible. I did put it in there so I don't forget.
Okay.
Who was the first fighter to finish King Green in the UFC?
Bro, I have no. Edson Barbosa.
Aaron, do you want to steal or you want to go back to the board? Remember, if you get it wrong, it'll go back to Jose.
I'm going to punt on it because I'm not 100% sure.
All right, well, it was Dustin Poirier. First person for him to lose to in the UFC was
at
Edson.
199.
First person to finish him. I don't have it in front of me what UFC event it was, but yeah, it was the first to finish him. So it's going to be minus 100 for Jose and AB. You're up.
I'm gonna use my no sweat off the bat because I want to keep control of the board and use Braun of the Dead for 400.
Braun of the Dead for 400. Okay, so because he used the no sweat, you cannot steal this, Jose. All right. 2 fights after being brutally knocked out by Francis Ngannou, Alistair Overeem bounced back with a KO win of his own over a current top 10 heavyweight. Who was his opponent?
Sergey Pavlovich.
That is correct. It was Sergey Pavlovich. AB, back to you.
All right, so I burned that one. All right, let's use the boost on title defense is 400.
All right, so this will be worth 600 if you get it correct, but it is also stealable if you get it wrong. Who did Chuck Liddell's first UFC title defense come against?
Oh, jeez. Okay. First defense. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark and say Tito Ortiz. Might be wrong.
Jose, do you want to steal?
Yes, but I'm literally doing the math in my head right now. So if I steal this, I don't have any more steals after this?
No, you can steal as many times as you want, but only 400s are eligible to be
But
stealed.
you give me control of the board if you get it wrong. And if you get it right,
yeah, so if you only want to steal it
if
you're 100% correct. Otherwise, you're basically just blowing your chance to pick the next question.
Yep. Jeremy Horn.
That is correct for a steal for 200. Oh, accidentally subtracted. All right, Jose, board goes back to you.
Let's do regional rerun for 400, and I'll use my no sweat.
Regional rewind 400, no sweat.
Here's my question about not stealing. Could I steal and get the points and then he gets the board back or no?
What if he doesn't no sweat? I don't know, because someone asked me this last time for the no sweat, and I kind of just said you can't steal it.
All right, I don't know the answer anyway. So
yeah, I mean we could do whatever, but Chepe Mariscal beat which currently ranked featherweight in LFA in 2019?
Youssef Zalal.
That is correct. He beat Youssef Zalal.
And I only know that because I think Chepe fought on the New York card, and that was like part of the narrative after his fight, like how brutal his regional run was.
And he beat Sabatini, who had fought regionally as well.
Yeah,
Fought like
lost
Bryce
it, I think.
Mitchell too. He fought like
Yeah, he
everyone
had
on
an
the region.
absolutely
Steve
brutal
Garcia,
region.
I think. Like,
Yeah. Let's do Argonauts for 400.
Argonauts for 400. Mark Coleman got his final UFC win at UFC 100 against a 15-fight UFC and tough veteran. Who was his opponent?
Stephen Bonner.
That's right.
That is correct.
That one I would have stolen.
Yeah, that one was easy. That one was so much more easier than the other one. Let's do Green Monster for 3, and I'll use my bonus.
So 50% on Green Monster for 3. So this will be worth 450 if you get it correct. Which of these fighters did Gabe Green never fight? Brian Battle, Daniel Rodriguez, or Kevin Jousset?
I'm gonna go Kevin Jousset. Yeah,
is correct. That was worth 450.
Let's do title defenses 3.
Title defenses for 3. Which of these fighters did Rich Franklin not defend his UFC middleweight title against? David Loiseau, Nate Corey, or Yushin Okami?
Yushin Okami.
That is correct.
David Loiseau, man, I'm so happy that I love that. I loved that dude. Like,
The Crow.
talk about Canadians, man. Let's do Brawn of the Dead 300.
Brawn of the Dead 300. After getting H-bombed at UFC 100, Michael Bisping got a KO win in his next fight against who? Dennis Kang, Jason Day, or Jorge Rivera?
Wow. I remember the Jorge Rivera fight. I just don't remember when it happened. I'll go Dennis Kang, though. I don't know why. Oh, wow.
Because it's correct.
Right.
That is why.
Yeah.
That was for 300. He knocked out Dennis Kang, UFC 105. Day was UFC 85.
I think Day was Canadian too. That's 2 Canadian.
Rivera was UFC 127.
Yeah. Jorge Rivera's the one he spit on him and didn't give him his bonus.
Yeah.
I remember that. Let's do Argonauts for 3.
Argonauts for 3. Who did Justin Guitar Hero Janes get his lone UFC win against? Devontae Smith, Frank Camacho, or Gavin Tucker? This is very timely because as of this recording, I think he just popped for coke or something.
Like literally like today, right? As we're filming this.
Yeah.
I don't know this one. I'll go I'll do Gavin Tucker. All right.
It was Frank Camacho.
Justin James popped for cocaine today. They announced that.
Yes, and it was his third drug defense in the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and if he gets one more, he'll be banned for life. That's what.
Okay, but this wasn't from his UFC time.
No,
right?
no,
This
it
was
was
like okay,
probably
like
like
he hasn't been in the UFC in like 2-3 years.
what's that one that Luke does? XFC or something? I think he fought in recently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or maybe it was that local, Tough Enough or something.
Tough Enough. That's the
right.
one also. Yeah.
All right. Let's do a regional 300.
Regional rewind for 300. Which of these fighters was never a Cage Fury Fighting Championship champion? Charles Radke, Joe Pyfer, or Sean Brady?
Joe Pyfer.
Correct. And I thought I was tricky with that one
That's a
because,
good
you know,
one.
the two Philly guys and I think of CFFC as like a Philly promotion, but yes.
For sure.
That is correct.
If I recall, Piper didn't do a ton before he got to the UFC.
So he lost on Contender Series to Dustin Stoltzfus. He had a one fight with CFFC and then went back on Contender Series.
Yeah, but he got hurt against Stoltzfus, right? Like he blew his arm out.
Yeah, no one loses to Dustin Stoltzfus when they're out. Come on.
Hey,
Maybe
you
yourself.
shout out Marc-Andre Barrio.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's true.
All right.
Let's
do
we could talk about him.
Let's do regional 200.
Regional Rewind 200. Which Bellator veteran did Merab Dvalishvili beat in Ring of Combat? Rafion Stotts or Ricky Bandejas?
This was for his the looking for a fight, if I'm not mistaken. It was Rafion Stotts.
That is
and it was
correct.
like 20 seconds, 13 seconds or something crazy like that.
Spinning back
Yeah.
fist.
Yep. All of this is correct, but he did also fight Ricky Bandejas.
Yeah.
He actually lost to him by unanimous decision in CFFC of all places.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to just hit that one. There we go. All right.
All right, let's do the regional for 100.
Regional Rewind for 100. How many currently ranked UFC middleweights are former LFA middleweight champions? Over under 4.5.
Well, you've got Gregory Rodriguez. I can name off the top of my head. Trying to think of who else was in it. I'm gonna say under. I don't know.
It is
Could be a
under,
trick
but,
question.
but it's
Four.
close. There's three.
Yeah.
So it's Fluffy Hernandez, Brendan Allen, and
Fluffy, yeah.
the aforementioned RoboCop.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Middleweights,
all right,
man.
let's go Argonauts 200.
Argonauts 200. Which of these former UFC champions has Christos Yagos fought? Charles Oliveira or Eddie Alvarez?
Yeah.
That is correct. It was Charles Oliveira. 2 more 100 for AB. You're still up.
Yeah, let's do Argonauts 100.
Argonauts for 100. How many UFC events has neighborhood hero Kevin Holland headlined? Over under 4.5.
Wow.
I'm going to take the under. I don't think it's more than 4.5. Under.
Correct. Okay. It is only 3. Which category was this under? Argonauts. He headlined against Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, and Wonderboy Thompson.
All right. Let's do title defenses 200.
Title defense is 200. Who did Davison Figueiredo defend his UFC flyweight title against first? Alex Perez or Brandon Moreno?
I think it was Perez. There was like the one Perez in between. And then all those Moreno fights.
It was Perez November, Moreno December.
A month later. Yeah.
He's the first and only guy to defend back-to-back months.
Yeah.
And that second fight was a draw, which is a banger too.
Yeah. All right, let's do Braun of the Dead 200.
Braun of the Dead 200. After a 3-fight knockout losing streak, Cody Garbrandt rebounded with his own KO at UFC 250 against who? Brian Kelleher or Rafael Assunção?
I know he faced both these guys, and I remember he had that sick KO against Assunção where he kind of looked like he pulled it out of his back pocket. But I feel like that was later. Because I recall I interviewed him after that Assunção knockout, and I wasn't at UFC 250. So I'm going to say Kelleher. No, it was Assunção. Okay.
The Assunção
that was
one
the
that he
250
pulled out of his pocket.
Does he have a knockout win over Kelleher? I
Yes.
think maybe it was
But
before
it
that run.
Came
But
later.
earlier,
Jose
right?
probably knows.
That was Kelleher's last fight in the UFC, I think. And the
Okay.
Assunção one was a COVID pay-per-view, so it was in the Apex.
Yeah, I remember that was a sick knockout. Yeah, I wasn't at 250, but for some reason I thought I had interviewed Cody after that knockout, but I guess not.
That had like O'Malley, Aljamain, and Cody all on like the undercard. So it was like 3.
Yeah, and it was Nunes versus Felicia Spencer main event.
And it was like so it was 3 bantamweight like legends. Let's do 3 Green Monster for 2.
Green Monster for 2. Who did Lil Monster Vanessa Demopoulos fight in her UFC debut? Jinyu Fry or JJ Aldrich?
Let's do a Jinyu Fry.
It was JJ Aldrich. She did fight Jinyu Fry, but a couple fights later. AB, back to you.
All right, let's do Green Monster 1.
Green Monster 100. All 4 of Walter the Clean Monster Walker's UFC wins have come by submission. How many of his 11 other pro wins have come by submission?
Question.
Over under 4.5.
I'm going to say under.
Correct. Only one other win came by. He had 6 knockouts, 4 decisions.
I remember it was weird that he started getting submissions. All right, Braun of the Dead 100.
Beneil Dariush was knocked out by Alexander Hernandez in Alex's UFC debut in 2018. How many consecutive fights did Beneil then go on to win? Over under 5.5.
Over. I think it was 6 or 7.
It was 8. My man was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one for you, AB. How many UFC title defenses do Alexander Volkanovski and Jose Aldo have combined? Over under 15.5.
I'm going to take the over. I feel like it's over. I don't know. No, under.
13. 7 for Jose Aldo, 6
I
for
feel
Volk.
like all those 100s and 200s are way harder than the 400s or 500s.
I don't know. So some of those were,
Maybe.
It's hard, guys.
I don't know. Maybe it's because like Aaron and I
didn't take the time to think about it either. I'm like, it's a 100 whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, like I feel like a lot of the 400s or 500s are from an era that like Aaron and I were probably like religiously watching as fans, and there was less MMA, so it's just like easier to go back through my Rolodex from like that era of MMA. While now it's like the Kevin Holland question, like I can think of 1,000 times he fought in the Apex. He could have headlined all of those for all I know.
Yeah. I've been trying to make the questions like a little older in age because I feel like people are like, oh, you're only doing
to
in the last
to
5,
make them
10
harder
years.
for like me and Aaron. It would be easier to do like recent stuff would be harder for me.
Yeah.
It's because it all blends together. Like Chocolate L, like he barely fought. Like he would fall like every few months because it was a pay-per-view like every 8 months.
True.
So it's easy to go back through my head. Plus, like how many times has Matt Hughes fought BJ Penn and George and like Koscheck? There's only so many welterweights to fight back then. Anyway.
Yeah.
I digress.
All right. Well, Jose, you got to choose first since you're in the lead how many points you want to wager here. Reminder, whatever you wager will be doubled. If you wager everything, it'll be tripled. It's all that.
I'm not doing what Danny did, and I'm not doing, I don't mess around with that. Like a win is a win. So if Aaron bets all of them and he wins, he gets what?
He'll have 4,500 if he bets it all.
Wowzers. Oh, yeah, because of the triple. That's smart. That's smart. I'll bet 1,000.
1,000. All right. So the least you could finish with is 3,250. The most you could finish with is 6,250. AB, what are you going to wager?
All right. Well, I can't take it with me, so let's bet it all.
All right. I love it.
Smart.
AB, you're going to answer first. At this point, Cajun Johnson is probably more well known for his UFC lawsuit than his fighting career, but he did fight a UFC champion, a Bellator champion, and a Strikeforce champion. Name 2 of those 3 opponents.
Okay, well, the UFC champion is Islam Makhachev, so we'll get that one out of the way. And then the other ones are going to get a little bit tougher because I've got to try to remember freaking Cajun Johnson fights. Would he have fought Rory McDonald on the regional scene at some point?
Ooh, I didn't even think of that one.
They're both Vancouver guys. Like, I think that's a possibility. And Rory was a Bellator champ and a Strikeforce champion. So let's think welterweight Strikeforce champions. You got like Jake Shields. You got like Robbie Lawler. I don't know. Was Robbie a Strikeforce champion? I can't remember. All right, I'm gonna say Rory McDonald. Let's try that. Let's say Islam Makhachev and Rory McDonald.
You nailed it, my friend. The only other one was Josh Thompson.
Josh Thompson. That was the name I was about to say. That he was a lightweight, so I didn't.
So
this would have been a lightweight. And
he fought Josh Thompson in 2002 in North American Sport Fighting Invitational. Everyone remembers that one. The Rory fight was in King of the Cage in 2007, and
that makes sense. Okay.
Islam fight was obviously in the UFC. AB, that brings your total up to 4,500. Things are getting interesting here. Jose.
Yeah.
Yair Rodriguez has fought 4 UFC champions, but at one point he fought 2 UFC champions back to back. Who were those 2 champions that he fought back to back?
Ooh. That would be, do I have to get them in order? Or can I just say their names?
You could just say their names.
Would that be Frankie and BJ Penn?
That is correct. Frankie Edgar and BJ Penn. Be
Dallas
honest with
Phoenix.
me, guys, because I was worried that Aaron's question was too hard and Jose's was easy. Were those like similar skill, or was Jose's too easy there?
I would have had to think that one through. Like that one, I knew Edgar was one of them because I figured it would have been around that era. And I probably would have gotten that wrong because I always forget that BJ Penn fought. Like I forget all the guys that BJ Penn. I've like kind of blocked out that like last stage of his career. Like I know that Frankie Edgar is one of them.
That was in Dallas.
The Cajun Johnson. I was like, only a Canadian is going to know this.
That's what I was going to say because like I remembered the Islam one. And then the second he was like, "Oh, did he fight Roy?" I'm like, "Probably, fucking probably."
Yeah, I would have never gotten
the
I
Canadians
never would have gotten Roy.
Yeah,
I never would have gotten Roy.
Roy's first ever fight was against Jordan Ian when they were 16 and like 17 or something.
Yeah,
on the regional scene.
That's dope, guys. I think that was everything we wanted, though. You know,
the Yair fight, the Yair BJ fight was the week after, I think UFC 207 or 207, the Amanda Ronda fight, and that was in Phoenix, and no one went.
Because like Christmas, right?
Yeah, because like Joe Lozon fought like Marcin Held on that card, and like and Joe Lozon was like, I definitely he won, but even Joe was like, I lost. Like BJ did. Also, I think the Cowboys played the Packers like in the NFC divisional game. It was like a Saturday because it was the playoffs, so it was like no one went to the event except for it was like me and Adam Hill and like John Morgan were like the only people in the meeting room.
All right, well there you go. Guys, I still think that was a great matchup. Jose, you ran away with it in the beginning. AB comes crawling all the way back, made it interesting at the end. It was a fun one. Love to have you both back. I mean, obviously, Jose, you're the champion. You just won $20 courtesy of AZ Ray Videos. Shout out to the man. AB will definitely have you back on. Jose, anyone you want to call out? Anyone you're looking to go against? I mean, what do we got?
If you guys ever want to run it back with Aaron, that was really fun. Like I said, like Aaron and I do this when we're not on camera anyway. So anytime Aaron wants to do it, if he wants to run it back right away, I'm super down to do that. Everyone wants me to go up against Laura Sanko.
Oh
I
shit!
I would love to face Laura. I don't know how many females have been on the show, if any.
A whopping 0. Yes.
So I would really like to face Laura. Me and her get along, or Megan, either one, or Mackenzie, who is doing great work backstage for the UFC.com stuff. So any of those three that want to face me, I'm down. Or Aaron, if Aaron wants to run it back right away. I think he obviously deserves it.
I think next time we do this, Jose, I'll put up a record that I think you'll like, and you put up a graphic novel that you think I'll like, and we put personal stakes up.
I love that idea.
100%, I'm in. That's a great
dope
shout.
idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm definitely in. But
we
yeah,
can reveal it at the end.
100%. I am fully
Also,
on board with that.
I'm 100% down with all 3 of the opponents you named, Jose. The biggest problem I have, so if anyone's watching this, whoever wants to be on the show, I am not like a verified user on social media. I can't message half these people. It says like, they only accept messages from verified users and shit. So, I have a hard time getting in touch with people. So if anyone seeing this wants to be on, fucking hit me up. Looking at you, Sanko. No, I'm just kidding. But appreciate you guys for being on. As always, we'll try and get those matchups. AB will have you back in the future. Jose, obviously reigning, defending, will have you back. You can follow both these guys on social media. I'll have the links below in the description. Go check out Jose on MMA Fighting and Anything But Fighting. And go check out Aaron on Sportsnet. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw. I'll catch you guys next week for another episode of Prop Quiz. Peace.
Who got the big hot picks that ought to hit with the parlays to get the best money? I'm a bet. Small time, a max unit on the paper you can get. Doing this ain't new to this. We take risks and cash slips.